going on, guys? So today on this Shoki Reviews, we're going to take a look at something that's made all my hard work pointless. It's the Marvel Stud 10S, the first 10 years, Legend series, Hulk Tri-Slash Hulkbuster, from the Avengers Age of Ultron. So yeah, here's a complete frickin' Hulkbuster armor. Yep, they just sell it in a box now. Basically, what the 10 years line is doing is selling off stuff that generally is not new. Now, you could get this Hulk otherwise, and you could build this Hulkbuster, but for the most part, yeah. Actually, I even said that I thought this Hulk was actually a build-a-figure, but he's freaking huge, so I don't know. You get a whole lot of things. You get Iron Man, you got... I believe there's a Ultron to go with this. There's Thor. There's a whole bunch. And there's a whole bunch of 2-packs as well. But, of course, this is the one I'm after because obvious reasons. Though the Hulk figure's probably not too bad. So, obviously, you got these guys here in their plastic and cardboard prison. There's a very hefty box. Come around this side, and you got some shots from the movie there. Come to the back. I like that it just spins freely. You got the Hulkbuster read-up. Having anticipated the need for backup in a situation involving the Gamma Green Goliath, Tony Stark creates Veronica, Titan-sized suit of armor, known more commonly as Hulkbuster. Yay. I think Veronica was technically the satellite, not necessarily just the armor, but, you know, it is what it is, because it was full of anti-Hulk tech, not just the Hulkbuster. Despite efforts to stay grounded, Bruce Banner falls captive to mind games. The Scarlet Witch loses his temper, swirling into a blind, catastrophic rage. So, unlike a lot of the figures we've looked at very recently, these are actually movie figures. Now, I'm going to go ahead and cut this and just go schwung. And there's a read-up from the movie. When Bruce Banner becomes smashing, crashing Hulk, Tony Stark calls in Hulkbuster armor to challenge Banner's alter ego and save the city from total rage-fueled destruction. Good luck with that, Tony. So, let's go ahead and get these behemoths out here and see why I wasted so much time and money. By the way, very expensive set. Target exclusives. Let's go. Woo-wee, guys. These are definitely some of the biggest action figures I've ever had. And I'm not including, like, the leader class Transformers and stuff. I mean just straight up action figures. These guys are ridiculous. I mean, just for immediate comparison, there's Wally, you know? and even more for in-world comparison, because kind of in the same wave, in a way, there's a normal Iron Man armor compared to even these. Like, the Hulk never really looks that big on screen, really, but yeah. So, I mean, we know that an actual Iron Man armor does fit inside the Hulkbuster. That's how it works. But, good God, these are huge. These are part of the 6-inch line. So, that's why I think that, and, you know, there'll be collectors who are going to say one way or the other. But I could, for something this large, I don't believe this to be in the normal 6-inch wave. I think this to be something else. Like, say, a Build-A-Figure or something like that. I can see this guy easily being assembled. And I know there were a few Hulk figures, especially like Gladiator Hulk from Ragnarok. That was definitely one. Actually, no, I wouldn't mind having that one, and I'm sure it's probably going to come out in this first 10-year wave. So, we'll look at Hulkbuster here in a little bit. We'll set it to the back. Freaking Wally. Alright, so we've got an actual gigantic Hulk here. So, the Jade Giant, the Green Goliath, and just the giant Gamma Beast himself. Very, very well done head, although lighting, that's a little bit better. And he is the one from the movie where he's being mind controlled, so he's got the red around the eyes and stuff like that. Though he's very veiny, and I don't know if that's supposed to be part of it or not. I like that they included the ants on his chest. This is the first time we see a hairy Hulk. And I like that they do include that because Mark Ruffalo is not exactly a shaven dude. It's pretty cool. No tummy hair, though. He does have pants. He does have Avengers pants. That's pretty cool, except it just fades directly into his leg. There's no, like, barrier there. Kind of wish they had at least given you a sculpt line to just stop. I mean, they're basically skin-tight, stretchy pants made specifically for the Hulk. You got this big black section here and a black stripe there. That is, of course, the hinge, because they go back to the kind of construction here. And he's mostly made out of soft plastic in his limbs. So the shoulders are hard, the chest is hard, the head is soft. Bicep, forearm, and hands are all soft plastic. The thighs in this area are all hard plastic. Actually, I think it feels like, no, that's pretty hard plastic. And the, the calf and shin and foot are all soft plastic. And they tried to give you some variation of paint down here on the feet, so you can sort of see some of the fade job there. It's not the best in the world, but it looks pretty good. They should add some hair down there on the feet too. Maybe he's a candidate for weathering, a lot like the Mr. Pigface. Hold on, speaking of that, where is he? Hold on, let's bring in another guy dealing with green skin problems. Yeah, they could be brothers. There we go. That also lets you know how big this guy is in the universe. It's all part of the Disney multiverse now. As for articulation, head does rotate on a ball joint. It must be a normal ball joint because you can rock the head a little bit. Also, by the way, he does have the red eyes, whether you can get in there and see that or not. Yeah, there you go. You can't really look up or down, just kind of wiggles a little bit. Big old ab crunch, even to the point where you're now seeing off parts of his chest. You really shouldn't. Big disc hinge for shoulders, can rotate, although very, very difficult. The other problem is that the paint color keeps changing. So here is clearly painted plastic, and this is sculpted. Same thing here, and you can tell that the shoulder is a different color entirely than the rest of his body. You do get the veins there in a weird, gross green color. Double jointed elbow, even though it's all soft plastic. You got the hands, which are not molded really that well, and you get some variation of paint on the inside. It just looks like he's holding a big snot ball, like just like, oh, what do I do with this? Yeah, it's just gross. It does rotate a little bit, or a lot bit, and now you can be like Nux. Alright. So, in case you ever wanted to give Knuckles to your Hulk, bicep rotation is totally there. Though with the cutout for the wrist, it's a little weird at some points. No waist articulation, though I feel like that was a missed opportunity there, because that could easily rotate. But I guess with the way the legs plug up into here, you definitely couldn't do that. Same problem with Iron Man, stuff like that. So you do get the cutout for the leg. Holy crap, that one doesn't want to go. Like, seriously, it won't turn at all. Okay, so we got a one leg kicking Hulk. That is such an awkward thing, too. And you can rotate it forward like we did before with Iron Man and a couple others. So if you want to kick forward, that's the only way you're going to manage it. But you can see, hold on, let me rotate this downward. You can see how the line of the pants lines up with the next part of the pants. So the mold, the sculpt is supposed to be like this. So obviously, big old figure, very limited. Double jointed knee. He does have a tiny little kneecap. Whoop-de-doo. Same kind of ankle we always see. A little ratcheted disc hinge, flip-floppy feet. But he can stand. Odds are you're not going to really get him in any ridiculous poses. He's probably just going to be in a standing yelling pose, probably, because he's the Hulk. So you can be like, "Grrrr." Yep. So, pretty cool figure. Definitely kind of worth the money to a degree. And we'll talk about the money here in a bit, because we got to look at that guy. That's where all our money goes. Alright guys, I had to move the camera back just a little bit for this one. Okay, so let's look at the Hulk Buster, aka Veronica, aka the thing I've been trying to throw together for a couple months now. And right off the bat, you see that he is kind of a bobblehead. That is the way this weird torso connection works. So there's definitely like a disc hinge situation there, along with a rotation joint. But, yeah, it is very funny. This is very nice, glossy, painted plastic for the most part. I mean, not everything is painted, but they did a gloss job on everything. So we've got molded red swirly metallic plastic. You've got gold paint everywhere. You've got some silver plastic combined with some silver paint, along with some light blue paint there for arc reactors, which this guy should have a few. So you look down here in the knee, there's your another arc reactor. Those technically aren't arc reactors, but they're different and they're painted. Come around here, you've got molded gold plastic, but silver inlays here, silver there, silver plastic up here, kind of gunmetal-y, really. Come to the back, and you've got what I assume are probably more arc reactors, kind of hard to tell, and then you've got thrusters facing inward. Don't know why. He is very wobbly. Like, at least upper body-wise, he's wobbly. Otherwise, you know, it's pretty much exactly the same as we've looked at before. So soft-ish kind of plastic. It is what it is. Now the head sculpt, which we're going to have to come up for, because this guy is master grade size, if not bigger. You do get this really good head sculpt here. You got red, looks like red plastic here, red painted here, gold with some silver outline, some black marking there, probably just dark gunmetal or whatever, and then blue eyes. Looks very cool. One of the pieces that I need to collect for my Build-A-Figure. Like I said, this is where all the time, effort, and money of making the Build-A-Figure got lost for me. Because of this, you do get ratcheted, wow, that's moving like my whole table. Ratcheted shoulders, that way. Comes up and down. Bicep rotation, elbow rotation. Actual ratcheted elbow joints, very limited, but it can still move. The wrist does barely rotate. Of course, you're running into the arm guard there. Like I said, we looked at the chest already. It can come way far forward. It can go way back. It can rotate way back like that and then lean forward. So very cool pose. It's very gorilla-like, if we're honest here. Oh, the head is just basically on a ball joint, and the neck does move just a little bit. Actually, we know it's on a ball joint. We saw that last episode. And then we've got hinges on the legs for the thighs. But I need to find this whole section here. We can kick forward. He's a little slick. He's got a mold release on him, it feels like. And you got the thigh rotation here. Big old honking double jointed knee. That barely gets you 90. You can also come very far forward for that reverse knee joint everybody loves. Right. And basic ankle joints just for holding them up, and the feet that are molded an angle. So he's pretty cool. Now we do need to do some mild comparison on this because we have this. Let's scooch this over a little bit. So this is the original Build-A-Figure chunks that I've got, minus the legs, of course, because there's nothing to connect them to. So you can see there's a huge difference. Now, what I found out from Mr. Nate Simmons, the Syndicate Santa, is that this is the initial release. Things changed for this. This is the UK version, kind of. And you can see there are some significant differences. Especially in the fact that these arms are backwards on mine. I'm trying to figure that out. I was like, why do the arms look funny? Because they're on backwards, Jimmy. Okay, there we go. Fixed it. That's weird because I didn't modify those in any way. That's how they came out of the box. So they weren't even assembled correctly. So you get a lot of similar details. You get the silver, you get the gunmetal. But what you get here is a much better gold plastic, even some better gold paint than on this. Because this is like caramel block color compared to that. I mean, that's a very bad paint job. Also here, you have a red neck. Here you have a silver neck. Of course, we don't have the torso to compare to, but I'm sure that's a little bit different. The molding is going to be exactly the same, just where the details are lacking is what's going to be the major difference. But also the fact that even the reds are different. This is a much brighter red. This is a deeper red, much closer to the actual movie. Come to the back here, and you can see major paint differences. So these are white over here. There's silver here. You got extra silver and little spits of white there. So it's like somebody went back to the movie and went, hey, we're lacking some details here, Timmy. And we're like, oh, yeah, we should probably do that. So that's the major differences on that. We're going to look at the leg right quick. So we got a right leg here. And you can see there's paint apps definitely missing. And just like crappy gold painted over plastic. Just doesn't look great. So that's why this is probably going to be a candidate for me to repaint down the line. I feel like they both missed the fact that there's a big thruster right here on the back of the calf. So, but yeah, this is a much different color gold. This is a brighter yellow gold. This is a, I don't even want to know. I don't even know color to call that, to be totally honest. So, now that I have this new determination to finish that other Build-A-Figure, I'm going to get there. So I can have two enormous Hulkbusters. Because if nothing else, what I'll do with the other one is totally make a black and gold one. I think that would be pretty cool. But, don't ask what's going on back in the background there. For another comparison from earlier, here is the Blizzard. Here's Blizzard. You see massive, massive height difference compared to a regular 6-inch Marvel figure. Alright guys, so let's get to the point here. Money. So I picked this up at Target. I don't believe it's a Target exclusive, but that's the only place I've been able to see it so far. Where I know GameStop and probably even Walmart are definitely getting the Studio or 10-year version, whatever. It's normally $70. Right now it's on sale for, I believe, $60. And that's pricey. Considering that these guys, the normal 6-inch wave, are 20 to 22, depending on where you pick them up. If you're not getting them secondhand, people charging out the butt kind of situation. Now, this is a 7-part Build-A-Figure, which obviously we have been spending the money to try to gather. So, if you just do the basic math on what you're going to have to spend just to get a Hulkbuster the hard way, like I'm currently doing, you're talking about $140 to $150 to maybe even $160 just to assemble the Build-A-Figure. So that's what I'm going through right now to do it the hard way. For $70 by itself, this, even though it's not the greatest thing in the world, it's actually very nice though, I think $70 is half the price you would pay to get this thing. That's basically making the Build-A-Figure part half the cost of a figure, which is basically what you're looking at anyways, especially with one this size. For $70, this guy alone could be sold in there, and it would be worth it to almost anyone who's never managed to get it. Not to mention it's the second release, or the UK release version, that has a much better paint job. So yes, there is an entire wave from the UK line that you could get the Build-A-Figure that it would look like this. So you would end up with a different set of figures than the American release, which is actually pretty cool in my mind. I like the fact that it's posable, it's not just a statue. However, you get this guy for $70 already, and then you get an enormous Hulk figure that I guess, like I said, has been released before. To me, he would be a Build-A-Figure just because of his size, but if he wasn't, then he probably was like in a $30 class range, if I had to guess. And this alone, because he's so much bigger than all the other $20 figures, this guy would be probably $30, maybe even 40 on his own. So you're getting a $70 figure, or well, you're getting a $140 figure, roughly, and what I would call a $40 figure together for the cost of $70 or even $60 right now. That is absolutely worth it for this 2-pack. Plus, you can get an epic showdown battle between these two, which is half the point, right? If you can get the shoulders and everybody to cooperate to where, like, you've got a Hulk punching and you've got an Iron Man punching. The hard part with Hulk is that his lack of articulation in his legs makes it very difficult. So you can actually get these two punching each other like so. And I know realistically it was right hand to left hand, not the other way. These guys are definitely doing something different here, but it is what it is. I guess, okay, fine. I can hear you complaining already through the freaking camera. So just boom, like that, and he's fighting. They're fighting, guys. They're fighting. The good guys are fighting. Why are they fighting, mommy? Anyways, so you can definitely recreate some of these battles. Plus, you just have two enormous figures that are going to take up a chunk of space on your shelf. Now, it would be awesome to get a 2.0 version of the Hulkbuster from Infinity War. I'm sure that'll be coming down the line. Now, I would love to have a regular Bruce Banner, but I don't know if he comes in any of the waves or not yet. I think he does. I think he's in a 2-pack with somebody else, but I'll have to find that. But either way, That's the end of this review, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this. I know some of you were looking forward to this just because you wanted to see these huge boys together. But guys, if you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe-ish button. We're over 3,000 now, which is absolutely amazing. Hit that thumbs up button if you like these things. I sort of alluded to that a minute ago, but didn't finish the sentence. And if you want to help out the channel a little bit, throw a little bit of money my way per month, you can head up to the Shoki Patreon right here, and of course in the description down below. If you want to do something different and totally show off that you're part of the Shoki Nation, grab you a Shoki shirt. There's a few of them here on the screen. I've got a couple designs in the works right now, so we will have some fresh shirts going into year 3. And that's it, guys. And I will catch you on the next review. Remember, as always, keep on hulking.